We are now staring down the AI earnings season of 2026, which represents the absolute make or break moment for big tech and anyone trading in today's volatile market. If you want to know where the line is drawn between a massive profit breakout and a bursting bubble, and also how to protect your capital, then you need to watch this video. Welcome back to the channel, I'm Grant, and back in 2022, I blew up a $650,000 account because I chased hype with zero discipline, and that taught me something the hard way. The market, well, it doesn't care about your story, it only cares about results, and 2026 is the year when AI is finally forced to prove itself with real numbers. Now, to prepare for the volatility ahead, you're going to need to mark these key dates on your calendar. Microsoft and Meta, well, they kick things off on January 28th. This is followed closely by Palantir on February 2nd, Alphabet on February 4th, and Amazon on February the 5th. It all culminates with the final verdict from Nvidia, the king of AI infrastructure, on February 25th. Now, this isn't just another quarter, it's the ultimate show me the money test for this entire AI hypergrowth cycle. To navigate this volatility, we need to break down the key expectations for each titan. Microsoft is expected to print about $3.86 in EPS on roughly $80 billion in revenue. Azure AI is still the growth engine, but the market, well, it's going to be laser focused on one thing, and that's Capex. Growth is solid, but margins are under pressure because the infrastructure bill is massive. Meta guided Q4 revenue at 56 to 59 billion, with the street sitting around 58 billion and EPS around 8.2. Ads are working again. AI is clearly improving efficiency. And the only real question is whether that AI-driven engagement can scale into sustained profit leverage, or if this is just a short-term boost. Palantir is one of the cleanest AI adoption stories right now, and they're guiding 1.327 to 1.331 billion in Q4 revenue. That's around 61% year-over-year growth. Backlog is rising, contract values are rising, and enterprises are actually scaling this stuff in production. Alphabet should still show strength in search and cloud, but here's the problem: spending. Capex for 2025 is expected around $91 to $93 billion, and it's going even higher in 2026. Now that keeps real pressure on near-term returns, even if the top line looks fine. Amazon's AWS is still growing, but guidance across the business, well, it's mixed. AI workloads are long-term bull case, but in the near term, expectations are more cautious, especially with retail margins still soft. Now we get to the main event, Nvidia. They just printed 62% year-over-year growth to $57 billion in revenue. For the next quarter, guidance is around $65 billion, plus or minus 2%. And for the full year, consensus is about $213 billion in revenue and roughly 4.69 in EPS. But as the central nervous system of this AI arms race, Nvidia is feeling the heat. Now, despite controlling 70% of the market, its valuation is under pressure because its customers' free cash flow is being choked by massive capital intensity. We've reached the point where this record-breaking spending must start paying for itself. The stability of the entire tech sector now hinges on one question: is AI actually generating profit? The real needle movers will be the monetization of Azure for Microsoft and ad revenue conversion for Meta. If they can prove that these hundreds of billions in investments are turning into real bottom line results, the Magnificent Seven will see another massive leg up. If not, we're witnessing the classic burst of a typical bubble. History shows that when proof of earnings arrives late, valuations get re-rated instantly. With expectations priced to perfection, drops of 10 to 20% in a single trading session, well, they're entirely possible. Overnight price gaps can completely alter your account's performance. Given these high-stakes dynamics, a battle plan isn't optional, it's mandatory. Now use the Microsoft and Meta results on January 28th as your early warning system. If they guide for even higher Capex but show revenue scaling alongside it, well, that's your green light to buy the dips. However, if Alphabet's Gemini or Amazon's AWS shows any signs of a slowdown, you need to hedge with puts or trim your exposure immediately. Everything then leads to the 25th. Nvidia's report will be the ultimate decider that lifts or sinks the entire semiconductor chain. The core principle for surviving this window is keeping your position sizing small. A maximum risk of 2% per trade. Always keep at least 30% in cash to stay nimble. That's either to buy a confirmed breakout or to provide a cushion if the floor drops out. Never bet the farm on a single direction overnight without hedging. Excessive euphoria or the fear of missing out is the main reason for the failure of most traders. Now, discipline, it means strictly adhering to defined risk limits and cutting losses aggressively when reality contradicts calculations. This earnings season is high conviction, but high risk. Only the cold-blooded will win. Subscribe if you want more of these real-world breakdowns, and drop a comment below and let me know, are you holding Nvidia through earnings or are you de-risking? I'm Grant and I'll see you guys next time.